Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Scatterroot podcast. Rudy, what's up, man?
What's up,
hype.
Kevin?
I'm hype.
That's your ish right there. That's your niche.
Rock en español is definitely my shit.
What does that rank like on your level of, or I guess,
what I go to?
Your go-to.
It's pretty high. Especially right now. It wasn't always that way. I go through phases, obviously, like most people do.
I need to get into that bag.
But no, rock en español is like what I'll throw on more often than not. It's probably top 3. Because I got like R&B.
Oh, I need to get into that bag.
I love R&B.
More too.
R&B is my shit. Like,
yeah, same.
Division, shit like that.
No, but like Latino music, it's particularly, like, where does that rank?
It's probably number 2. Because number 1 is like norteña, it's like Intocable Empezado, or my number 1. That's what I'll go to. Rock en español, and then banda. Banda for a while was number 1, but it's falling down to number 3.
What would you, if someone is starting to get into rock en español, what would be some things?
You got to start them off with like Maná, I feel like.
Yeah, so Maná's the one for sure. But like, what else would you tell them to
That's
get
the
into?
gateway drug, a little bit. I mean, that was a very good example.
weed.
The Volveme Chica is great.
Yeah. But who sings that?
Hombres
Hombres G.
Hombres G, yeah.
Los Enanitos Verdes.
Los Enanitos Verdes, another one. Lamento Boliviano. Y yo estoy aquí.
Okay, I think I know this.
Borracho y loco.
Okay,
yeah, that's a good
yeah.
song. Yeah,
Okay.
That's great. But yeah, man, that's my shit.
Well, hey,
We'll have an episode about that.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll get a better...
Well, what's up, guys?
3 squad out here.
We'll talk about that in a second. But what's up, guys? Thank you so much for listening today. And this is a episode that I think Kevin and I wanted to have. It was kind of inspired by, I guess, like the timing of Easter being around the corner, right? Like we were just having a discussion about Easter and a couple of things. And that kind of opened the door to some, I guess, like traditions that we have, whether it be like on a holiday or even just in general, right? Like differences in like small traditions between like, I guess, like Latino culture and in our experience, right? Mexican culture, and then some American traditions, and then kind of like this melting pot of traditions that we have. You're, I think, a little bit more of like a Mexican traditionalist, though. I think like you're not as open to like accepting American traditions.
What are you trying to say?
You don't want to do these American things.
Yeah, it's not that I don't. I just don't like. I don't know. I never did them, so it's like I don't feel like. But like what?
Yeah,
Give me an example.
I think we're figuring it out. I don't know, something like Thanksgiving.
We do it, but I don't know. I think we just do it out of like compromiso.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like,
it doesn't signify like what it signifies to the people. I guess like we just do it to get together and eat some food.
Yeah,
but we don't do none of the.
But I think that's kind of what the conversation will kind of lead us into. Is
I don't do 4th of July
at all.
Nope.
Even just like on your own.
No.
So what do you do on that day? You just sit at home and do nothing.
Yeah,
on your day off.
Regular schmegular.
Interesting.
Yeah.
See, I do, but I think it's just because everything else.
Like my cousins will pop fireworks, but just because it's popping fireworks.
But that's still the thing, right?
Yeah,
You're still celebrating it in some way, shape, or form.
I said my cousins. I never did it, but I deadass never did. I was a good kid. I jugaba con eso.
I think that's what we do, right? Like we pop fireworks.
Oh Lord, Terry, put it in reverse.
Shout out to Terry. I hope he's doing well. No, but I mean that's the kind of the whole point, right? Is like I think there's little traditions that like are kind of becoming a part of our, culture. Being like Latino Americans, and we'll start off, I think, with some that are, I guess, more rooted in like our parents' roots and like our upbringing, and then some that are a bit more American and kind of this in between. But I do want, before we get started again, kind of provide context for the conversation, right?
Let's temper expectations a little
all
bit.
of our, I don't want to temper anything, but like all of the topics and discussions that we have are from, and we understand that it may be a little bit limited, but this is from like our perspective and our point of view. Like, I don't think we're here again to like educate.
I've said this multiple times.
Specific.
I don't know shit about
topic.
Shit.
Exactly. I don't either. And that's kind of my reality, right? Is that there's a lot of things about like my culture that I don't know.
And I think it's funny to laugh at people that don't know shit about shit. So if y'all want to laugh at us,
I laugh at myself all the time.
Word.
So I don't know that I think just definitely establishing that again is saying that like, hey, like, we aren't going to dive into the details of every topic. We're just going to kind of maybe introduce them, give some background, give our own perspectives, and I guess make it relatable to like other people's potential experiences. But again, these are our own, so we can't really
in dead ass, like we're trying to keep this like
project them.
A time is
For sure. It's really hard because there's been times where we'll be like, dang man, it's been 45 minutes. Like,
yeah, like last episode, we could have definitely gone longer,
and that's almost with like all of them. Yeah, for sure. So I guess just set a reminder there for everyone that's engaging with us. But again, thank you so much for engaging with us and listening to and
if there's stuff we missed, man, let it like
for sure. And I think that's what really excites me is when people say like, hey, like what about this? What about that? Hey, you guys.
We'll come back to it.
Topic. I love that.
We'll come back to it
because that gives us a reason to one come back to it, maybe provide like a different perspective, and that's what this whole thing is about. It's like starting these conversations, addressing all these different experiences that individual people have, and them contributing to the conversation as well. So hey, give us that feedback, give us things that you'd like for us to talk about and discuss, and hey, we're here for it. We love it. So, and with that being said. Again, let's jump back to what the episode today is about. And it's about kind of like small traditions, like kind of differences here and there. And we won't go into all of them, but there's definitely some that we want to start off with. Is there anything that kind of jumps out to you, Kevin? Or
well, I mean, just the fact that Easter's around the corner. We could probably just start there.
I think let's start there. So I think the one that kind of stood out to us was what?
Los cascarones.
Is that pronounced?
Cascarones.
Are we pronouncing it correctly?
I don't know. I think so.
I call them coscorrones. I don't know if that's just my ignorance.
To be fair, I haven't participated in said event or said thing since,
you don't do this?
No, we honestly don't do a lot of Easter stuff. My family, like my family's not a big Easter. I don't know why. We haven't really celebrated Easter. Well, you know what we do? Do.
What a child. Okay, yeah.
We make capirotada. Capirotada is very typical Easter. I don't know if that's
a lot of people do that, right?
That's what do you mean?
Can you describe what capirotada is?
Basically like bread pudding. It's like, just like layers of bread and maicena. At least that's what my grandma uses. I don't know anybody else.
I think so. I think that's
maicena, and it's topped with like coco, nuez, y pasas, coconut, walnuts, and
I hate raisins, but I'll eat it then.
Yeah, she'll usually make two. She makes one with raisins and one without raisins.
Okay, shout out.
She's mindful.
Shout out.
But yeah, that's a very typical, at least Mexican. I can't speak to anybody else, but Mexican dish.
I think that's a kind of a something. Yeah, I rock with it too.
But back to the cascarones.
Yeah, so I think coscorrones is what, like the head thing? Like when someone gives you a nugget or whatever it's called. I don't know.
Cascarón. I think it refers to like the cáscara del huevo, way.
Yeah, I know that's what the word that I'm pronouncing. I think the coscorrón. I don't know. Move on. Okay, so.
Well, anyways, describe him though, actually, because people might not know what the hell we're talking about.
You take an egg, right? In most cases, I remember like we would collect them, and like you would like make eggs, and like you would crack them at the top, and like only let the egg come out there, so that at the end of it, you wash them, you fill them with confetti. Some people do
the shell.
The shell of the egg. Yeah, just.
The shell.
Can you imagine the huevo? Ew, gross. You fill them with confetti. Some people do like sprinkles. Some people do flour. Flour is one that sucks. I hate that one. Tough. Like I hate it. And then usually we would do the Easter egg hunt, right? Just like with the kids, and then that's preceded by the mayhem and madness of, cracking these eggs on people. Then it's mostly like fun and games.
Dude,
the flour one crosses the line a little bit.
Nah, I do miss that. I miss that. Just like sneaking up was behind someone. Sas, cabron, and you just
got him.
Pop him straight.
Yeah, bro. I used to like take pride in not being able to get caught. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like the quick.
Don't catch me sleeping.
Exactly. But then I would always let myself get caught.
Yeah.
But I think that's something that I guess we weren't really completely sure if that's only specific to us, but in my experience, I hadn't seen Americans doing that. Like, I'm pretty sure that this is something that's mostly...
We need a white correspondent.
We do. Maybe we need, yeah. Maybe we...
I don't know. As far as I know, they only do, like, the egg hunt part.
Yeah, and I think that's something that most people do. And again, like, Easter in itself is a Catholic tradition.
And then, hey, you know what I just thought of?
Well, not a Catholic tradition. It's part of the Catholic culture, right? Or Catholic religion.
Easter, like, those chocolate bunnies and, like, bunnies. Do Mexicans like have bunnies on Easter? Like,
oh, that's a good question. Is that a thing? Is there a conejo?
I don't think.
Is there an Easter conejo?
Yeah, right. I don't.
Maybe.
I'm trying to like.
Let us know because we obviously.
I think I just like cracked the code. I don't think we have Easter bunny.
But I think that's the whole point, right? Of like this kind of thing is like we celebrate Easter differently, right? Even though like we're neighbors and like culturally like there's some differences there, but But I don't
think
know.
I just got confirmation that there's no such bunny.
There's no Mexican Easter bunny.
Yeah.
There's no Easter conejo.
No.
Interesting.
No. What would his name be?
I don't know.
Benito?
That's probably as good as any.
You see what I did there?
Dang.
El conejo malo.
You're El conejo malo. Your FBI agent is knocking at your door right now. But no, and I think when we started to have that conversation, right? So cascarones was what, right?
Cascarones.
Sorry,
Chingada madre, Rudy.
Shit. Hey, and shout out to my madrina, because she would always be the one that would really go like out of her way to like, because you can buy them at the store, right? You can like buy them pre-made, which I think is kind of like,
I did not know this.
Whack, you know? Like I think it's cooler when you put in the blood, sweat, and tears, because you like color them as well,
then
right? Like, with watercolor, so it's like fun for the kids too. Yeah. You put tissue paper on top to glue them out. It's kind of tedious. It's a lot of work, but you know, I know my family starts collecting them like December, like right after Christmas, like December through March, and then Easter comes around.
What do you mean collecting?
The eggs. Like, right, because you make breakfast. Like, you just use the eggs that you cook with.
Damn, dog. I'm saying, I haven't done this since I was 10.
We never did a great job myself, like my direct family, of like preparing for it, but we definitely participated. And I remember I get to my madrina's house and she would have like a carton for everybody. She'd have a carton of eggs. So shout out to her for making that shit.
Sounds like a blast.
Bro, so much fun. That's definitely something that I want to like take on. And that's a question I'm asking about a lot of these. Is this something that you really enjoy, that you want to do?
Yeah, let's bring that back.
It didn't go anywhere. Well, you just stopped participating.
In my family, dude.
There you go. Like,
this is a message to my family. Yeah, if you're out there listening, let's bring it back.
You have a week. But
you gotta start collecting now.
So that was okay. Again, it's rooted around Easter, and we start to see that there's a lot of traditions that are kind of sprout from religion and like religious days. Mm-hmm. For example, even another one with Easter, right, is like La Semana Santa. Mm-hmm. Like there is a Holy Week, right, like in like Catholic churches here in the U.S., but in Mexico, it's a big ordeal. Like it's like the whole week is everyone's very kind of on board with celebrating it together.
I think like you're not even supposed to drink all week or something. Like
maybe I don't know the ins and outs, but I know like in Mexico, it's a bigger deal, like as opposed to here in the U.S., right? Mm-hmm. Like I guess because the community isn't as like involved individual, like I guess collectively, it's hard. But you know, you okay there?
I gotta sneeze. My allergies, dog.
You've been like
keep talking. Give me time to sneeze.
But
I mean, I obviously don't know too much about that.
Yeah, it was just something, and then again we go
don't
from
crucify
that
me.
onto more, right? So there's like Dia de la Virgen.
Oh yeah, that one is huge,
especially in Mexico.
Yeah, that one is huge. I mean, even here, like they even like televise like Las Mañanitas. They'll have this whole thing on like Univision all day or all night, whatever, and they take like celebrities, like big celebrities, big artists, big singers to go sing to the Virgencita, to whatever
it's
temple
a big day.
That is, and it's always like the same church, I'm guessing. I don't know. But it's like a certain spot to sing to La Guadalupana. And yeah, they just sing Las Mañanitas and serenade her a little bit on her day, on her birthday.
Yeah, I definitely know. Like,
when is it? Do you
December 12th. And it's if someone is born on that day, like if you're at least if you're a woman, right?
Either or. I know mad guys named Guadalupe as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know that many.
Yeah.
If any.
I know a guy who's married, whose name is Guadalupe, and is married to a woman named Guadalupe.
Dang, are there kids Guadalupe Jr.? Juniors?
No.
Dang,
but yeah,
that'd be cool.
That's crazy, right? But yeah, no, yeah. If you're born on that
day, like the chances of you being named Guadalupe are extremely high.
Super high.
Yeah.
Super high.
I have a tia named Guadalupe. Actually, is her birthday on the 12th?
Yeah, and it's a whole celebration. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
but it's like a whole. There's definitely like a whole celebration as well. Like I know, like you go to church like earlier that day, and then oftentimes, I mean, I'm sure different churches celebrate it differently, or maybe they don't. I don't know, but they'll have like almost like a reenactment of when La Guadalupana appeared to. Crap, I'm not a good Catholic. I'm sorry. To when she appeared to Juan. Somebody. Look it up. And look, I know the general story, all right? The man goes up to a mountain. She appears to him. She tells him, hey, go tell him I'm here. He goes down to the church. They're like, dude, you're tripping. You're crazy. He's like, I'm not crazy. I swear. They're like, bro, you're on some... And he goes back up there, and she's like, here, like, take these flowers, because there was no flowers on them. I don't think you know any of this.
I'm not any better than you are.
Like, take them these roses, flowers, or something, and like, because there's like the whole hill was like dead. It had no like plant life or whatever. And then he has him in his little sarape, I think it's called, su little poncho thing.
Yeah.
Así las tiene, like a sack, he's got the flowers. And then
Tell us more.
He walks on down to the church and he's like, look, she told me to bring you this. And he like lets it go. And it's the image of La Virgen on his...
the one that we see everywhere.
Yeah, on his sarape. And then they reenact that.
Hey, we are on the same boat, dog, because I probably need to...
I promise you, I know what I'm talking about. I just don't know that guy's name.
Juan Diego?
Juan Diego.
Dang, I should have known that. Like,
hey, I said Jose or Juan. I'm pretty sure I said both.
San Juan Diego?
But yeah,
shout out.
And yeah, they have that. Then they have like whole danzas to like they have crap. Oh my god, Malinchin. Hold on.
Dang, we finna expose ourselves. But yeah, no, I mean like
matachines. My bad. Matachines.
Yeah, we should have known that. My dad was matachin. My little sister was matachin.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, she was. Yeah.
But they're not like focused on La Virgen, right? That's just like a dance.
I mean, that's like one of the biggest days, like for them, right? Like when they go. Mm-hmm. I just remember like my sister when she would go to practice, like it would always get really intense right before like La Semana Santa.
That's like their Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. That's a perfect analogy.
You got to make the analogies. You got to make the people understand.
That's a perfect one. Yeah, and but they do just in general, I think perform at like other like whether it be like ceremonies or whatever. Wherever they're requested.
I'm not going to speak on because I don't really know too much about what they actually like stem from or root from.
And again, I think that's a perfect example of kind of like where we live with some of this, right? I'm sure there's a lot of like Latinos who are probably maybe better Catholics than we are that can say like, no, this is definitely more a part of my identity. But in general, right, like I know what a matachin is. Like my sister was one, but like it's not something that I can like really speak to like being a part of like my overall experience. I'm just familiar with it. But I'm kind of like in this like period in between where I don't know a lot. I think
they also participate on like Dias de los Santos. Like Dia de Santos are oftentimes celebrated. Like I at least know for the like San Judas Tadeo, he has a certain day where they'll have kind of like a little festivity for him as well. Have like food, and they also have like kind of it may not be matachines, I don't know, but they have like danzas for San Judas Tadeo as well.
I had that one pulled up as well.
Because San Judas Tadeo is big. It's not. I wouldn't say it's really like a tradition, but the symbol that is San Judas Tadeo is big amongst Mexicans for sure.
Yeah, the saint of lost causes.
Yeah, everybody has like a cadenita or like a little emblem hanging from their car or something in their house, something along the lines to represent San Judas Tadeo for sure.
Yeah, every October 28th.
I can give you the history of San Judas Tadeo.
This is not a history podcast.
I'm kidding.
Let's not jump in. But no, like there's a lot. Again, right? The point that I was just making that there's a lot that are rooted in like religion. Moving on from that one, like there's around Christmas time a bunch, like and more than we can even really like dive into. But a few that I think both stood out to us. Like one would be like Posadas, and that's one that like similar to what you were just describing for the other Virgen. I have been there. I've sat in the room as a kid.
I
didn't actively participate all that much.
So Posadas are basically just kind of in Christmas carol form, kind of just singing, representing.
That's what I said. I was like, they remind me of like the Christmas carol of, but it's different.
Yeah,
right?
it's very specific. It's representing like a Maria y Jose. Going door to door. Going door to door, trying to find, somewhere to stay as they're about to give birth to baby Jesus. And excuse me, like there's very specific lyrics. It's almost like a reenactment. Like you sing exactly what it is. You assign parts. Like, hey, you're Mary and Joseph, and you guys are the housekeepers or the people in the house, and you're gonna sing. And you sing certain things like, hey, let us stay. Da, da, da. I don't know the lyrics. I forgot. Like much like yourself. I was just kind of there. Yeah,
but when I was a kid, I was just like, yeah, vamos a una posada, and I'd be like, all right, cool. Like, I know we're finna go.
I just remember the rhythm is so funny. Like I don't know, I can't even remember. I just remember like my cousin singing it, and it sounds awful.
So this is one where I'm now interested in like, right? Because the other region I think is gonna depend a lot like on like kind of what your religious and even posadas for sure, like right on how I guess Catholic you end up raising not just your kids, but like. Living your life here in the future. But do you see, like, what do you think your relationship with like posadas and everything? Like, do you see yourself actively participating in some of these traditions that like as a kid you were just kind of there?
I don't think so. Only because of the fact that I don't think we do that much now. Like again, within our family, like we've done posadas or done the posada or whatever, like maybe twice in the past 10 years. Like, it's not something that my family like actively implemented in our Christmas celebrations. So I don't have it, ingrained in me. So I probably wouldn't pass it down. Not because I'm against it or anything. It just wasn't a part of my own Christmas experience.
You don't have the foundation to even like
I said, I've done it literally once or twice.
Yeah, I've been there a bunch. I've been to like several. Yeah, but no. I don't remember, like, I never really participated. I was just kind of there. The kids eventually just kind of run off and do their own thing, like, like reza hacer rosario, like when you need to, like when it's about time to eat, like then you kind of show back up. But like for the most part, I think that's kind of what's interesting to me about like this whole conversation is for someone like ourselves who is kind of in between. What do some of these traditions that we semi-experienced growing up look like in the future for us and for our kids? And it's just, some of it, again, is specifically the religious ones depend on. Yeah,
what's much bigger for me is on... So, first of all, like Mexicans usually always celebrate Christmas on Christmas Eve, right? Like on Nochebuena.
Nochebuena. That's another one that I have here on the list.
That's when we have our get-together. Like, we have dinner on the 24th, and... that's when we do all or at least that's when we did the posada, the very few times we did it. And that's also when we rezamos el rosario. So we said, like, we pray the rosary. How you say it in English? I don't know how you say it in English.
You said it right.
Okay.
I think.
And the way we would do it at my place, I don't know about you. I can ask you in a second, or you can tell me in a second. We would like all sit around, obviously, the Christmas tree, and we have usually also like a very big nativity scene. Now, I don't know if that's like an American thing.
Yeah, I think that's another like
Mexican families more often than not go hard with the nativity scene
underneath the tree, and there's always one there. Yeah. I have seen like with Americans, they tend to set one up outside their house if they do.
Oh yeah, like the little
like if you drive through like the rich neighborhoods over in like North Dallas and like even like Highland Park and stuff.
Jinx got me soda.
Knock on wood. If you, especially like in Catholic neighborhoods, because there's Santa Monica is over in North Dallas, which was like one of the closest Catholic churches to me, and there's a lot of really like it's an affluent neighborhood kind of nearby. And there's definitely a lot of like nativity scenes, but they're outside and like they're like really big and like some of them are inflatable. I think I've seen more of that as opposed to what I've seen like in Mexican households where like there's one underneath the tree and it's a part of like
they'll even have like dirt or like little like actual dirt and grass and stuff, and they go hard. They have baby Jesus in there with all the little figures. And that baby Jesus
is so precious. Like my mom,
and they take care of it.
Bro. Yeah.
And it's like passed down for years. Like them things
bro.
Are. Yeah.
My mom got one. I can't remember how and rode back with it from Mexico to like the U.S. with it in her hand.
You gotta take care of it. They're fragile.
Yeah, they're fragile. They are like kind of like porcelain dolls, that are fragile.
So back to what I was saying, we all sit around that, and then we were praying the Rosario. We're saying all of our Padre Nuestros and all of our Ave Marias and stuff. And as we're doing it, they usually pick like one like a couple, like like a married
they choose to
they'll choose a boy and a girl, and they'll like kneel in front of the nativity scene while holding baby Jesus, and with each like passing misterio like section of the rosary, they like put an article of clothing on him, like they'll put his little socks on, and until he's like fully dressed by the end of the whole rosary. And that's something that we do every single year. My family. Yeah, my family does that every single year.
See, we don't.
And as children, it was a drag, right? Because in case we're just trying to play, we're just trying to open our presents.
We're trying to open the gifts.
But now, as I've matured or whatever, like I definitely appreciate it. And
do you think so? Now that one that you have a little bit of a stronger.
I would definitely like to
continue
keep that going. And then how we ended off now is wait, do you do that? Do you as well? Oh, you said you've only done it a couple times.
So it's depended on where we've been, right? Like as a family, just within our own household. No, we do have a nativity scene. Or at least we used to more. Like now we just have. I'm trying to think what we did the last few years. Well, maybe it's just baby Jesus under the tree these last few years. But like we used to have a nativity scene. But whenever we used to spend Christmas with like my madrina or like with like more family than just us, then like we may have like I remember doing it then, especially with my madrina, but
gotcha,
not consistently like ourselves. Where like we like where it was a household tradition.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, I mean, I think most of our Christmases we spent with like all of our uncles and aunts and stuff and grandma. So yeah, but what I was gonna say is how we finish it off after that is after we're done with the Rosario, like they pass baby Jesus around on like a little basket or something, like his little, I don't know, crib or whatever. I don't know any words. And there's usually, so he's there, and they usually have like there's a assortment of candy. It's never great candy, like hard candies just around him, and they pass him around, and you give him a little kiss on the forehead, like little
yes,
besito, and then you take a candy.
What? I remember being a kid and being like, why are we all kissing this proportion?
Not in the COVID era, let me tell you.
Yeah, and I remember like my parents would like do it with such like grace and like passion, and be like, and I'd be like,
dang, I wish I got a kiss like that.
Yeah, like I just don't, no, calm down. I just be like, just real quick, because it again, like it was weird, but I definitely remember those things. I think a part of me would like to definitely like go back and like do them with intent, right? Like where I'm actually like actively participating and engaging, just to kind of see how I feel, because I think this whole conversation has kind of led me to think that like, what traditions do I want to kind of carry on? And again, the ones that we've discussed thus far are very rooted in like religion, so a lot of it's going to depend again on that relationship that you have with, the Catholic Church in this circumstance, because all these have been Catholic. But
just right now, with no further like knowledge of even who you end up with or whatever, do you think you would want to keep on with the
relationship? I think so. I think I definitely want to like kind of get into a little bit more. Like for us, like Christmas involved. Like sometimes we go to like midnight mass, which is called like Misa de Gallo. Is that what it's called? Yeah.
Yo no sé. That
La Misa de Gallo. Yeah, which is midnight mass. So we've done midnight mass before, and again, I think the biggest distinction for the tradition that Latinos make versus like here in the U.S. is like we celebrate it on the 24th, like beginning to end, like Christmas.
Oh,
like
and then 25 is the recalentado.
We do a recalentado, but like usually about like noon or 1, like the day's kind of done. Like don't really do much. And even then, the only tradition that I've now started is I watch basketball.
On the 25th?
Yeah, on the 25th, because it's Christmas Day. When
do you open your presents? When does your family?
It's midnight.
Yeah,
on the stroke of midnight.
Same season.
As soon as like the and sometimes like as of recently, my parents have been like, "Hey, we're getting tired." It's
11:30,
11:45. Yeah, exactly. Let's go ahead and get the.
Gotcha.
We'll at least start like like those repartimos, right? We'll like get this one's for you, this one's for you.
Just open that later at your own leisure. I'm going to sleep.
Yeah, and then we'll go ahead. No, we'll staying up, but we'll get prepared so that at midnight there's no there's no
delay.
Everyone open your gifts.
Gotcha.
Which is something that I definitely want to like.
And
always
whereas
do.
The typical American, they wake up Christmas morning in their pajamas and they got their eggnog
in movies and like all like
And I'm like, can't relate at all.
All the kids running down in the morning because they all live in 2-story houses because they're all rich, and they have chimneys and AC
and
and
they left
food
cookies
in the
out
fridge.
because they can just afford to leave cookies
and
out.
they leave cookies. Yeah, I know.
What the fuck? You got me fucked up.
I can never relate.
If I left a plate of cookies and milk, my dad would be like, "Chingas todas."
What are you talking about? Yeah, like I wonder if that's a thing at all. Like leaving cookies out. Like I wonder if anyone in Mexico does something like that.
Yo, I don't know, dude. I would doubt it.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And so again, like another interesting distinction. But yeah, so something like that I definitely want to continue myself because I think that's cool. Like it's one of my favorite times of the year, and that entire like the 24th. From around the time that we start getting ready for dinner up until we open gifts and go to sleep, I think that's just a beautiful time. So
yeah, I definitely love Christmas as well. That's definitely my favorite holiday. Just for like, there's nothing like bringing everybody together and eating together, praying together. If that's your cup of tea, for me it is. So
facts.
I love it.
And then so shortly after Christmas, and this will be the last one again, tied a little bit back to religion, is El Dia de los Reyes Magos, and then now we kind of have this.
That's the full circle.
The opposite side of the coin. Yeah, because we made it back to Easter.
Yeah.
So the opposite side of the coin would be what do we call it? Like Mardi Gras or Fat Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Like that whole like I don't know. There's a difference there between the way we do it and the way they do it.
Yeah. So the Dia de los Reyes Magos is January 6th.
6th.
And another thing that apparently you didn't know when we were talking about this earlier is that it's very common practice to leave your shoe out. And you get extra gifts on January 6th. It'll be like small little detalles.
I know the kids get gifts on this day.
Yeah,
right?
That's it. It's just for the kids, I think. I don't think that like you're not supposed to.
But that's for the shoe thing too?
Yeah, the kid
extra gift.
The kid will leave the shoe out, and they're like it's like small. It's kind of like the stockings, right? Like that sort of thing. Except that's on Dia de los Reyes Magos, and it's your shoe, not a sock hanging over a chimney. It's your shoe.
Interesting.
And so that just represents like Los Reyes Magos bringing a gift or whatever. I don't know why it's the 6th. Someone who's a better Catholic might be able to tell me that. But the other major thing that happens on there is that we get together and we eat the Rosca de Reyes, right? Which for American culture or
is king's cake.
king's cake.
Yeah, and they do the same thing, right? There's babies inside the cake.
Do they? Yes.
Yeah, there's babies inside of the
but
cake.
they don't look the same though. They're not decorated the same on top.
They're not.
Like
yeah.
king's cake is yellow, purple, sprinkly. Like
it's very Mardi Gras esque, right? Which
Yeah.
like leads me to believe. And again, like this part of Louisiana, I think there was a large.
It's French.
There's a large French influence, which was also Catholic from when they established in that part of the U.S. And so again, it's like rooted in religion, but like celebrated slightly differently. Is kind of the thing. Do they do if you get the baby? Like, what's their thing?
I don't know what they do.
Because what do you do if you get the baby?
So okay, so on. I was just gonna describe the top. It has got like little like dried fruits and stuff, and it's like green and red. And
it kind of looks like the top of like the gummies from the Paleta Payasos. You know, like the little.
I love Paleta Payasos.
I know, me too.
That's the thing. But yeah, so anyway, so there's like.
Let me ask you this: how do you eat your Paleta Payaso? This says a lot about a person.
Oh man, I'm fresh. I'm worried that I might eat it wrong.
Well, let me
Are you
know.
saying? Are you like? Do I eat the gummies first and stuff? Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah. Do you rip the gummies off?
I don't.
Or do you?
I don't because I save the gummies to the end.
Me too. That's the elite. The elite way to
I'll like
eat
around the gummy and then like
me too.
I'll save it
No
to
wonder.
like the last bit. I can eat it until like it falls off. Then I'll go ahead and bite the gummy.
Literally. Sometimes I'll even like rip it off and like set it off to the side.
See, I've never done that.
You know what I'm saying? Just to make sure it's the last bite. If you're out there and you rip off the gummies or you bite the gummies first,
he's got words for you.
you're ghetto. Just
Dang,
you know, you're a ratchet kid. No, I'm just playing.
So going back to the Rosca Reyes, I don't know how many babies there are in there, but if you get a little baby, then you are in charge of cooking the food on fat.
The next Sun. Oh, I thought it was the next Sunday.
No, we do it like on Fat Tuesday, like that day.
Yeah. That's right. Like the Tuesday before Ash Wednesday.
Yes.
You're the one in charge of hosting.
We're making tamales. I don't know if for y'all it's tamales. For my family specifically tamales. You have to make tamales.
I don't think there's a specific thing. I think we do just
food.
Like just food. Like it's a night of eating.
Like I said, my family specifically tamales. Like te toca hacer los tamales or help make los tamales.
For us, tamales are like very specific to Thanksgiving and Christmas.
I'll have tamales any time of year. But yeah, for sure.
I mean, I feel like tamales is definitely like a cold weather food.
So yeah, you get the little baby, like, crap. Haha, you're in charge of the tamales on Fat Tuesday. And yeah, that's kind of, and that's like obviously the big difference is that they don't even eat the rosca or the king's cake until Fat Tuesday.
Well, there's some people, they don't eat it until Fat Tuesday. And then at that point it's Mardi Gras. So they're just celebrating Mardi Gras, and I don't know if there's
which I literally know nothing about.
Yeah, I don't know much about it. I do really want to go. I was actually supposed to go, and then COVID started happening, and like it was kind of like, I don't know if we should
Mardi
be
Gras
going
definitely
anywhere.
seems like it's not a religious thing. I know that
Not at all,
but like literally the one thing I know about Mardi Gras is there's beads involved and topless women.
You know, and
I'm sorry if that's.
It sounds like a beautiful tradition, but I don't know if it's rooted in religion.
Yeah, I'm sorry if that's like not indicative of Mardi Gras at all, and if I'm doing it a disservice, I apologize. But that's the only thing I know because that's what's been portrayed to me.
There's a lot of layers to it, I'm sure, but it's not our experience. But who knows? I definitely like to go out there and learn more about it. Okay, and so then I think now it's probably a good time to transition into some of the other like kind of traditions that we found. Slightly interesting.
Mm-hmm.
One that you brought up that I really, really enjoy is La Víbora.
La Víbora.
At weddings.
Mm-hmm.
What's the full name of it?
La Víbora del Mar, I think.
That's right. La Víbora del Mar.
Describe it.
So, at least at our weddings, the way you do it in two groups.
The men and the women.
The men, yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Men and then women separately.
Women go first. And essentially, like, anyone that's at like the wedding can really do it, but it's usually led by someone that's like in the wedding party or like a close friend, and the girls hold hands.
They form a chain.
They form a human chain, and they prance basically around the ballroom like they like. Mm-hmm. It's like very happy-go-lucky. Hey. Are they supposed to be trying to knock down the bride or no?
I don't know about the women. The men for sure.
I know the men are, but I don't know. I think the women are just like they just look so elegant. And like they're prancing.
Full disclosure, I've been to like 2 weddings.
So they hold hands and make a chain, and they kind of just prance around in between like everybody and have a good time.
And then the bride and groom are still like, so they stand on chairs, right? And they kind of form like a arch with each other.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. So like they're and the
or is it
best
chairs or somebody
man-
holding them up?
So no, what I've seen is chairs.
Okay.
Like they're on chairs, and then I think it's the best man and the maid of honor are like holding them.
Okay.
So
just
like,
kind of bracing them a little bit.
Yeah, bracing them. And I don't know if it's usually 1 or 2 guys. I haven't been to a wedding in a while.
Yeah.
And so then the girls prance. The guys, I don't know how y'all do. Do y'all hold hands?
Yeah, we hold hands.
We don't hold hands.
Y'all don't hold hands?
We grab each other by the belt buckle.
Oh wait.
Because we're vaqueros from Durango, you know?
No, the one. So I've only participated in it once, and I think we held hands.
Yeah, I've broken so many.
I told you I've been to
belts at a
2
wedding.
weddings, bro, and the other one didn't have it. I've only seen it once.
So the way we do it is you grab the guy behind you by the belt.
Okay.
By the front of your belt.
Yeah.
And it's not
Like
a
the
prance.
loose part of his belt or like his buckle?
Like the front. I mean, if the guy has a buckle, then you grab like just like where
Okay.
you can like get a good handle of the belt.
Because you don't want to fall off.
No,
I've seen that happen.
You don't want to lose. Yeah, bro, and it gets dangerous. I'd be like, bro, someone's definitely got hurt over there. I don't know what happened, but you take off.
Regardless whether you hold hands or hold belt, you form a chain as well.
You form a chain,
And you're a strong chain.
yeah, the guys do.
Yeah.
And like the
Women
goal
might
is
too.
I mean, you know.
But the thing is, there's a lot
they
more
just
force
prance.
exerted on the men's because
Like-
we're going full speed.
Running,
'Cause
and you're
we're
not just
running.
running around like the open part of like the ballroom, like where there's like the dance floor is. Like you're running through the table, through chairs. Like you gotta jump over. Like there may be a kid that runs in the way. You gotta gotta truck stick the kid.
If
Sorry,
you're a
kid,
mother,
get out of the way.
if you're a mother at the wedding, you better get your children because if they're in the
Yeah.
way, they're getting ran over.
Ran over, dog. Like you better put that phone down because
Yeah.
like it's gone.
Yep.
Yeah, I've broken a belt once or twice at least. I've let go on accident and like fallen and like
Flew off.
flew off. Yeah, like
yeah. So they're running around, right? Like you said, throughout the whole, throughout tables, weaving in and out like a snake, and then they'll periodically come back to where the bride and groom
they're
are.
like running underneath and between.
Yeah. And as they go, they kind of purposely.
like nudge them with like they're trying to like kind of rub the groom and make them fall off.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
it's just. A
it's
blast.
so much fun. Yeah,
the one time I did
literally
it, it was amazing. My homeboy fell off, and it was the funniest thing ever. I just turn around, I see him rolling like 3 yards that way. He just, it was great.
That's definitely something I really want to do.
It's so fun.
It does require like a big wedding though, right? For
Yeah.
it to be like worth it.
Yeah, because it's not fun if you got like 5 guys.
It's not fun if you have like 100 people at the wedding,
That's also not fun.
and then there's 20 guys in line, and then there's only like 40 guests to like run through or whatever the math adds up to
Yeah,
there, right?
yeah.
Like it's fun when it's a huge area with a lot of people, and you just kind of, like I said, you out there trying to hurt people almost.
Yeah.
Like I've seen people get hurt like
Yeah.
doing it, but
That's
it's a
a
lot
blast.
of fun, for sure. Another one that I just thought of that's also wedding related, is do you guys undress the groom?
Undress the groom? Dude, no, I've never seen that.
Never.
No.
So I've seen it before here in the States at Mexican weddings, but they didn't go as, I guess, hard with it as they did in Mexico. But like for my cousin's wedding specifically, I remember the men celebrating him, right? So usually like the groomsmen, and then guys, family members, anybody else that's there can like kind of join in, and they toss the groom into the air. Right, and they're just tossing him up and down.
I've seen the toss.
And as they're tossing him up and down, they're slowly taking off like one piece of clothing at a time.
I've never seen that.
Up
I've seen
in-
the toss.
Up until like he's in his full like tux, right?
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
take his jacket off, pants, socks. Up until he's basically just in his underwear.
Yo, how are you like tossing in unclothing at the same time?
Dude, I really don't know. I've
That's
only
some
been on the
skill.
outer edge of the undressing. I don't know.
Okay.
But like that's another one that I just thought of right
Interesting.
now. That's something that I think would be cool to like kind of. I don't know.
See, even I
you down
haven't
to
heard of that
undress me
one.
at my wedding, bro?
Say less. I'm about to undress you on a random Tuesday night. What you mean?
All right, pause. But I don't know if there's any
Say less.
American traditions that I can like kind of think of. The only thing that came to mind earlier was
Which is like weddings.
the only thing that I could kind of think of randomly was bachelor and bachelorette parties.
Do Mexicans also have like best men and like whole courts or courts, whatever they're called, parties? I don't know. What the heck
Wedding
they're called.
parties?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. That's a good
I
question.
wonder. And like, so, because I've found this out, or
I think
I've
so.
seen this recently.
I think they do.
Amongst people, like, to ask for your groomsmen and your, what is the female equivalent of groomsmen?
A maid of honor.
Bridesmaids?
Your maid of
Bridesmaids.
honor?
No, all of them.
Sorry, yeah. The whole
Your
thing,
bridesmaids.
yeah.
You like have to propose to them. Like the groom gives the groomsmen's Like
you ask them, like, will you be my...
With like a whole present. Like you present them with presents. And like a little, whether it's a box or letters.
I think that's
like,
maybe American.
That's what I'm saying. I've seen that in Americans.
Yeah.
I don't know if Mexicans do the same, is what I'm saying. I don't think so. But
I've had a lot of friends start to get married, like, or friends that have friends that are getting married. And when they get asked to be a part of... you get asked to be in the wedding party.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And so it's usually like a box or some kind of gift.
Exactly
some people do like wine glasses. Some people do, I don't know what. And you ask them
little
to be in the
knickknacks.
wedding party with a gift.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's an American thing, right? I don't know if it's a Mexican thing.
I don't think it is.
Like, I don't know if...
I'd have to ask somebody. But I think the reason you do it is because you understand that like this person is assuming a responsibility of participating in like the planning of your wedding. Like there's some financial responsibility and there's more of a personal responsibility to make sure that like...
I mean, I get the idea behind it. It was like a foreign concept to me. But then again, like I said, I've been to like 1 or 2 weddings. So
yeah. So have you thought about like, do you want to have... Are you going to ask your groomsmen with a gift?
I'm doing all that. I don't know.
What are you going to give me? Am I in your wedding? All right, next topic. But the other one that came to mind was bachelor and bachelorette parties. I don't know if that's
I feel like that
done
is. I feel like I've heard like fiesta de soltero or despedida de soltero.
Oh, you're right.
I think that's a thing.
You're
so I'm
right.
pretty sure they do.
You're right. Oh, you want to hear a funny story? Actually, again about my cousin's wedding. I hope my cousin probably just listens to this. The night before he got married, they were like went out. Like we live in a pueblo, so like the nearest like kind of city-ish where you can go and have fun is about like 45 minutes away. And so they did, like they went and were there till like 5 or 6 in the morning and was stupid drunk. Came back and could barely like he looked
this
like...
This is the night before their wedding.
This is the night before the wedding. And now this is the day of the wedding, which like...
What time is
1
the
or 2
wedding?
o'clock. You know what I'm saying? It's in the afternoon.
Okay.
And he just looked like he was hungover. And I remember the padre like paused the wedding. It was like, we're gonna go into like the what do they call the little room?
Yo no sé.
The little room that's off to the side.
Yo no sé.
Where you go and pray.
Oh, I don't know. I think I know what you're talking about, but I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, but like he pulled them in and like I don't know if he made him like do a confession or like do whatever, but like lo regañó because he looked terrible, bro. And like he was out like probably not doing things he was supposed to be doing the night before his wedding.
That's funny.
Which I thought was hilarious. But sorry, cousin.
Put him on blast.
Put him on blast. But stuff like that, yeah. Like I think some of it may be like interpretations of each other. Like, and I think we'll see more and more of that in the future. And we've kind of talked about how kind of like, especially with like social media and like the internet, like some of these things can now kind of become global. So it's interesting to see if we'll see more and more of that. Another one that's kind of similar in the way it's celebrated is quinceañeras.
Tiempo de vals. Yeah, man. Quinceañeras. The ones we've said the word quinceañera several times
on the podcast. Episodes. Yeah, and I think that just goes to show that it's such a part of the culture, right? Like it's when you're growing up, like it's a big part of like just if you're a guy, like going to them, being in them, being a chambalan. If you're a girl, having one, right? Like celebrating like this coming of age.
Tell the people what they are.
Exactly that. It's a celebration of the coming of age.
Think of a bar mitzvah.
Think of a sweet 16.
Think of a sweet 16.
Right, like it's the exact same thing.
But bar mitzvah's a better one because it's kind of there's a religious aspect to it a little bit. Like there's a whole church.
There's more tradition in it, right? Like there's a lot of tradition.
Like sweet 16s are just excuses to have extravagant
party. I mean, there is like substance to like there being like a coming of age aspect to it. But for sure, like a bar mitzvah has more of like a cultural significance to it.
I'm not going to speak on because I'm not Jewish, but I know they have to like read the Torah and they got to do a bunch of other stuff.
Like a quinceañera, right? You have first a misa, and then you have the actual like party. One of the biggest things is like right as here, like you get in a limo and just ride around for 2 hours and walk around a mall.
Oh my god. The quinceañeras at the mall. Yo.
Bro, nowadays, I'd be like, bro, why is...
let me just tell y'all,
it
doesn't look cool, guys. Like, I get it. Y'all having a blast. Go to like a park or something. Don't go to the mall. I mean,
that's my thing. Like, what else are they going to do?
Yeah, that's true. But like
what else are you going to do on a Saturday when you are 13, 14, 15, 16 years old?
It's very fair, I guess. But like, I don't know. Maybe
with a limo Like, you know, like as like when we were that age on a Friday, like obviously just on a regular Friday, we would go chill at the mall. I mean, I would. I don't know about you.
I was a loser.
Oh, that's right.
Gotta keep telling you this.
I would go chill at the mall, like be seen. I just want to be seen. You know what I'm saying? Go like meet some people, like, you know, be cool, XYZ. So yeah, you're dressed up. You got a limo. Like, hey, let's pull up to
So
to the mall.
any non-Latinos that go to like North Park on a Saturday and you're wondering why there's a
I don't think they let them in at North Park anymore.
I definitely was just at North Park like 2 weeks ago and I definitely saw one.
Oh, really?
I promise you. Yeah.
They're at the Galleria all the time. I know that.
Are they? So
All the
yeah,
time.
if y'all
They're always
are
at
wondering
Cane's.
why there's like a young girl like in a big ass poofy dress and a whole bunch of dudes matching. There's quinceañeras.
That's why. Yep. They're there. They're waiting for the actual party at 5:00 because they have these 3 hours to kill.
Yeah. That's great.
But yeah. So like, there's a lot
And there's a
in the quinceañera.
yeah, I was about to say there's a lot in the quinceañera.
Smaller
You have,
traditions.
another thing is like you have padrinos for everything. You have padrinos which are just an excuse to have other people pay for parts of the
Facts.
of the party.
Well, you have padrinos for weddings too, right? Like, isn't that a thing?
I think so, and it's also an excuse to pay for things for the for the wedding.
Yep, padrino de anillos, padrino de
Yeah.
XYZ.
Padrinos of everything.
Padrino for like quinceañera, there's like a padrino de like the gift, right? Like the big
yeah, there's
gift
like a big gift. There's one big gift
that they're supposed to be getting. Yeah, I think my sister got a stereo player for hers. You imagine that we thought it was cool. I was like, oh, this is so cool.
What year was that? Like, oh, nice.
No, I mean, how old is my sister?
I don't know how old your sister is.
31. So, what's 16 years ago?
2021. Oh, we can do math, huh?
2005.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah, is that it? Yeah, it's about that time.
Okay.
2005, around that time.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so getting like a big stereo, like a big, you know, it was cool.
Bumping that thing
but
up
then
all
there's
night.
like there's the actual tradition of, right, like having chambelanes, like having are they called damas?
Sure.
Having damas. Like
No, chambelán de honor. There's a main one.
there's a chambelán de honor. There's the El baile de la última muñeca.
Oh yeah,
Is a
weird.
big, and that's like, and I'm sure that I don't think that one's that's weird, right? Because that represents the last doll that a father is giving to his daughter, right? Like, this is the last toy that.
And the cambio de zapatilla or whatever.
Yeah. So it's again
They
celebrating
get their
like
first heel.
someone's coming, a young lady is coming into her womanhood.
It's a beautiful thing, really.
It
All
is
jokes
really
aside.
cool, and that's one that I definitely.
It's a cool tradition for sure.
Are you gonna, if you have daughters, would you encourage them to have a quinceañera?
If I have a daughter, yes, but I'm about to get canceled.
Speak.
I'd rather not have a daughter.
Why not? Oh,
Because
you
I want a
suck.
little. I want a little.
You can have both.
Yeah.
Right? You can try. I mean, who knows, right? You don't get to pick.
Don't shame me for my. I don't know. All right,
Okay,
we don't know.
that's fine.
Anyways,
I would because I definitely
it's
feel like
definitely a cool
that could be a
tradition. Like,
beautiful
I'll keep
moment.
it going if it's
For
dope.
sure.
It's dope.
And the
yeah.
American equivalent of having like a Sweet 16, again, like I guess to me, I just not that familiar. A lot of people don't have them. Like, right, like in high school, like someone saying, "Oh yeah, I'm having Sweet 16" would be kind of like very rare.
Yeah, it's not very common.
And I don't think there's as much
Emphasis,
meaning
importance,
and behind it. So maybe that's why we
It's
don't really have
definitely
it.
like a huge part of Mexican culture, and I'm not gonna let you get away with it without talking with like the vals and the baile sorpresa.
The vals and the baile sorpresa.
I don't know if a baile sorpresa is as typical. Like, for instance, in Mexico, they might not do that part. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, I know.
But the baile sorpresa was the chance to get down. If you were in the 15, you
like-
practiced either one of two things. You either practice for like,
bro,
for like 3 months,
This was terrible.
or you practice for like a week straight because y'all didn't practice like
literally like right before. Yeah, like there was obviously be the one guy that would never go to practice.
And you'd have a choreographer.
I was only ever like in 2, so
Yeah, I was in 1, and you'd have a choreographer, and you had to learn this little choreography to like. So the vals was like the formal one. You had like a slow little waltz type, da, 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 da. And it's always the same song. It's Tiempo de Vals by Cheyenne.
yeah.
It's always that song.
I remember just
not
swaying.
always,
I remember
but-
just standing and swaying a lot. I would have to like.
Yeah, there's like an L step that we would do. I don't know. And then the baile sorpresa was just to whatever song the girl wanted to do. And
Yeah,
it was
and
like,
you can get down. You know what I'm
you
saying?
get down. It was
And nowadays they probably do like Meg or something. I don't know.
make the stallion at the 15. I don't know about all that, chief. If that's the case, I don't want to do a 15.
Hey, but you know, whenever we were growing up, that's when like dance groups were a really big thing. Like,
oh, is that a thing
guy
everywhere?
dance
Cadets.
groups were huge. Cadets, bro.
Yo, I wanted to be a cadet so bad.
I hated these guys. I was like,
cadets are basically like for hire dance crews of like these dudes who swear they're like the hottest shit. They're like,
I mean, and they were back in the game. Maybe that's why I'm a hater.
looking
now.
back, yeah, I was like, whatever. But they
peaked, but whatever.
Yeah, they definitely peaked. All cadets definitely peaked in high school. If you're a cadet, you definitely peaked in high school.
And if you didn't, I'm sorry.
Because they act like they would get hired like every
That's
weekend.
cool. It was a cool thing. Like if I had been,
I wanted to be one.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to be one because I didn't really care about dancing, but it looked cool.
No.
And I'd be like, dang, all the girls probably want to dance with this dude because he's out here. He's got gloves on.
Yeah, he's tutting.
He's that bro. The tut kids. Oh my god.
Doing the ooh.
I wonder if that was across the border. If we saw more of that here in Texas.
I wonder if they even saw it like in Houston. I don't know, like in other parts.
In Houston, yeah, no, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know how, or like California, like even other.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I wonder in Cali, like if they had like those kind of like.
And then you know what's crazy?
Dance groups.
They would like wear like navy-looking uniforms.
Some of them, yeah.
Some of them would wear
depend.
Like they look like cadets.
They would wear either cadet or they would wear like matching like clothes. Like it'd be like tall tees that had the name of like the dance group.
Yeah, no, that's
on,
what I'm
the
saying.
shirts.
So usually the ones that like I saw a lot of them that like during the like bods section when they were formal, they had like the little.
I wore cadet for when I was in Chamberlain. I wore a cadet suit.
Oh, did you?
One of them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they would wear like cadet suits with like they look like little soldiers or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then in the Baile Sorpresa, they usually had some like matching ensemble, like a T-shirt with the name.
It was like a tall tee. They had the spray painted the old school like rest in peace shirts.
Yeah, but cadets, what a time.
What a time. But then, I mean, in general, like quinceañeras, I think are a very cool tradition to kind of move on and keep going with.
I think some of them would even have a sword. They carry like fake swords.
At least as long as it's not one of the ROTC guns, talking about.
You're about to bash ROTC.
That's a whole nother topic.
The pickles.
Oh my god. But man, so that was one that stood out to us. Is there anything else that you kind of wanted to jump into? We've already kind of spent a lot of time talking about some of these.
We've gone kind of long.
I
don't know.
There's a few more.
I think we have more on the list. I don't know if you want to go over them.
We have more on the list. I guess let me take a look here.
Rapid fire them. Guys, we're sorry. Rapid fire, all right?
I don't want to rapid fire these. I think some of them we can revisit. I guess just to let you know.
Just to bring them up. Just to mention
kind of mention some of these, right? Like like piñatas were something that like are
hold on, we gotta spend a little bit of time on piñata because that's similar to the quinceañera. That's your step into manhood as a guy.
You think so? Being able to break it?
No, not whenever you're the one in charge of the piñata.
Oh,
when they finally hand you the cord,
is that what
you're the one that's yanking it and pulling it?
Have you been able to?
No, we haven't had a piñata in a while. Like my family, like we don't have any kids right now. Like. We have very few kids. There's not that many kids in the family. So
and the piñatas are definitely for kids.
Yeah. So we haven't had a lot of that.
Where do you know where their piñatas are like rooted in, like kind of what their origin story is?
I did. Like I forgot now because the typical piñata, like I mean, most of the time you get like fun ones that are like in the shape of a Power Ranger or whatever. But the typical one is like a star-looking thing.
The one that has the
and
cones.
There's a specific number of like.
I would always wear whenever one of the cones would fall off. I would wear it as a hat.
Yeah, dude. And so there's like a specific number of points, and they're meant to represent something. I just forgot. I don't remember.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I mean, okay, so based on this, like, quick, maybe another point that we can make. The research department probably needs to work a little bit harder. And Kevin and I are both the research department, so maybe we'll come with better research next time. But in general, right, piñatas, one, they're very Mexican, right? Like it's a Mexican, I guess, tradition, or like that's where it really comes from. And I see here, right, it's archaeological evidence shows that it's an Aztec,
we're
Mayan.
Archaeology. Guys, we're about to get some knowledge.
Well, they had their own, like, right, Mayans, Aztecs, and like other like indigenous groups in Mexico had their own version of like what a piñata was. And so they were made of clay, and you would break them with a stick, right? So what we see now is like you have a stick, but now it's cardboard, and like you said, a lot of them, the more traditional looking ones, are the ones that look like a star that have the cones on the side.
Mm-hmm. They're like paper mache and stuff. Mm-hmm. And they're filled with candies. So yeah, we didn't even describe it. They're filled with candies. Kids take turn beating them with a stick as somebody yanks them. They're usually blindfolded. If they're not blindfolded, that's kind of whack.
So that's a difference now, because when I was younger, we used to blindfold all the time, but nowadays we don't as much. You just
it's dangerous, but whatever. And you spin them around a couple of times just to disorient them, and then you sing a little song.
Yeah. Dale, dale, dale,
no pierdas el tiro,
porque si lo pierdes, pierdes el camino. And yeah, it's honestly like a really fast song. Like when you're up there,
That's not very much
and
long. It's like 15 seconds.
Yeah,
max.
be like, hey dog, like
and sometimes they sing it fast on purpose.
Yeah, I know, but when you're older, they definitely be singing it. Yeah, when the little kid
That's
goes
how
up
you balance
there,
it.
Yeah, the little kids be up there. There's like 3 can barely hold the stick. It'd be like,
Dale, dale. And then when the little 10-year-old badass kid comes up there with the stick, get him out of here. And then then you break the piñata, candy falls, and it's a scramble.
Candy falls out, and everyone just
every man for themselves,
parents included.
Sometimes,
hey, bro. Sometimes parents that had like 3 or 4 year old kids, they would use their kids like they literally pick the kid and be like, come on, it's like.
Yeah, man. And then you usually, if you were smart, like with those cone ones or with any of them, you get like a piece of the piñata that's like, and that's your bucket. Because you can't hold that much in your hands, right? Yeah. So like the small ones, you get a piece of the piñata and you stuffed it like that's your little receptacle that you take.
As a kid, it
winnings.
was like, who could get the most candy?
Yeah.
Like, you know, especially if there was really good candy. I definitely been to somewhere like the candy was like bullshit. I'd be like, what the fuck? Is this an apple? What the fuck is this?
Is this a fucking toothbrush?
Is this a cacahuate? Oh, I guess. It's whack.
Bro, that's so whack. Nah, you gotta put pulparindos and bombazos in them things, bro.
Yeah,
you gotta
bro.
Lucas, pelones, everything, dude.
Nowadays, I just kind of want a couple of pieces, you know, like I'm cool with just going in and grabbing my 1 or 2 and we out. But we've seen them spread everywhere, like even in the U.S., right? Like it's like there's piñatas.
Let's get some
everywhere.
piñatas for the party, bro.
Yeah, it's been appropriated a little bit. But I think as long as like there's a respect for like, you know, where they came from, like I think it can be kind of okay.
Yeah, I didn't mean to go that much into it, but yeah, I mean piñatas, they're iconic. It's definitely a night
for sure.
Iconic.
And I definitely want to keep doing that, and maybe even do like the whole blindfold thing, like kind of keep it like really rooted to it.
Yeah, 100%.
And yeah, no, I didn't know that
I look
being
forward
able
to
to pull the rope was a
yeah, dude, you know, getting up on the roof and pulling it, that's a sign. That's when you're a man.
Dang.
Yeah.
I'm a man, Mom.
Yeah.
I've done this several times now. I'm an expert on the cool. I like holding the kids that like be bad as.
That's the other thing,
bro,
you know.
Making them swing and miss. That's my favorite part. Besides breaking the piñata, nothing feels cooler than being the guy that broke the piñata. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But
like,
being on the other side of that,
especially if there's like a cute girl that's, you know, like you'd be like, I'm gonna show her who can break this piñata.
Mira, Stephanie, ¿cómo le hago?
I'm fucking like 13.
All right, what else?
So all right. Piñatas was one. I was just gonna
rapid fire. Back
to rapid fire. So I don't know. There's like a bunch of like little things on here. Dia de los Niños, right? One that and now these are more ones that kind of dive into and maybe this one specifically we'll definitely have to revisit because it's huge, right? It was like Dia de los Muertos.
Oh, dude, yeah, we'll have a whole nother one.
That's and maybe we'll do that closer to like the Halloween time when like
if we're around till then.
Contextually, we will be because our listeners got us. But I think for like context, right? Like it's they're very different, but they're similar just because of like, you know, the time frame and
I think just like the image, the fact that it has to do with the afterlife and there's like skeletons. Like I think that's literally the only similarity.
Yeah, probably so. Like they're very very different, but there's some kind of overlap to them.
And the fact that they're both in fall.
And
like
I think there's gonna be more and more overlap. Like it's really easy to distinguish that when you're in Mexico and when you're like an American. Mm-hmm. But now that we kind of have like this dual identity, right? Like I think that's kind of what I'm speaking to. Like there would be more of a melting pot of these two things that just kind of is going to happen.
I don't know, because I ain't gonna hold you. I don't fuck with Halloween like at all.
Yeah, you don't like Halloween all that much.
But
what about your significant other?
She fucking loves Halloween. She's into the occult, and I don't glorify the occult in any way, shape, or form. I don't know why. Like they used to tell me it was like the devil's birthday, and I believed it. I think, and it just stuck with me.
But again, that goes back to earlier when we were talking about one of the original episodes with folklore.
They being my parents.
Parents just like making shit up to scare kids.
Yeah, but no, yeah, I definitely want to revisit that one and touch it because I think that's such a beautiful part of our culture. Like the imagery, it's just.
And it's honestly one that myself and my family, like, we don't celebrate.
Samesies.
Like, at all. But I definitely want to, like, go in and, like...
I definitely want to go to Mexico and be there for the celebration.
For sure. Exactly. Me too. Another one that is kind of weird because it really means nothing to, I guess, us in particular. But there's definitely some meaning behind it. Is like Cinco de Mayo. Mm-hmm. Right? And I think the only real point that I want to make is... while it really has no significance to like 99% of like Mexicans, so like here in the US it's kind of just this appropriated, like a day of appropriating Mexican culture and an excuse to drink like margaritas and get drunk and like, you know, like wear like a sombrero, I guess, like do what like Americans think Mexicans do. There is some significance to it, like in Puebla, right? Like in like, you know, in a pocket of Mexico, but it's not a tradition like I think Americans project upon us because like
I'll admit,
it means nothing.
Yeah, I'll admit that I don't resonate with it very much. I know it's like representation of La Batalla de Puebla, but that's about the extent of my knowledge.
But the actual day itself has become now just more of an American tradition.
Yeah, here for sure. It's almost kind of how they treat St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, but I think there's actually been more of an embracing of St. Patrick's Day
versus Cinco de Mayo.
Like, because like there's a lot of Mexicans like just like don't embrace it at all.
Yeah,
because there's not a lot of significance to it for us. But again, like in Puebla, I know it's a big deal.
I don't know.
So that's one, and then there was a couple of other that like the one that I thought was the last one that I'll kind of touch on was Thanksgiving, right? One that is a very American tradition that I think now as Mexican Americans ourselves, we, and I don't know if you have, but like our family has like kind of tried to celebrate it, and it's been very weird because we have no idea. Because there's zero, at least that I'm aware of, like zero connection between Thanksgiving and it being celebrated throughout like Latino culture at all.
I'm pretty sure there is zero.
There's none. But it's very funny.
There were no pilgrims.
Because we sit down and like do it on Thanksgiving and we'll be like, all right, what are we doing today? So that's the only other one that
I could leave that one. We do it, but I'm cool if we don't.
See, my only thing is that like I definitely have accepted it because I mean I am American, right? Like I was born here, so I kind of have accepted it as a thing that I
just hate the food, which is whack.
Yeah, I don't like turkey.
It's so whack.
Yeah.
Just whack.
But what if we make it our own? I guess we have to eat turkey, right? Because it's like a thing.
Well, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. If we're gonna make it our own and make like tamales or menudo or whatever.
For us, like, hey, like Thanksgiving is to me the sign of when like tamales start to get made. Like that's about when like we start doing it, like in late November, right before Christmas. So that's the significance it has to me. Like Thanksgiving's here, tamales season's here. Like we almost there.
Gotcha.
But
bro.
But yeah, I think there's some definitely more here that we can talk about. But I think we've done a pretty good job of addressing some of the ones that really stood out to us. Any final regards?
Nope, but I have a surprise. It's not a surprise because you knew it was coming. We have the return of the segment, and I think I came up with a name. Y'all let us know if it's dope or not.
Oh, okay, there's a name to it. Okay, cool.
Really, Rudy? Fuck. Really? All right.
This is based off my last performance.
It is. Yeah. Really?
Okay, I want everyone out there to know I have a terrible I don't know. I get stage fright.
Well, we're about to find out. So I'm gonna ask you some more questions. This time it's not gonna be to finish the lyrics. It's just gonna be it's just gonna be like general knowledge questions.
Okay.
Like a little bit of pop culture, whatever. I'm gonna ask you Mexican related questions. All right. Kind of like trivia, basically. All right. Cool. You like trivia, so
yes.
Play my shit.
All right. Sure.
Really, Rudy? All right. That's what I like to hear. All right, man. We're going to go through these pretty quickly here, but we'll see what you got, all right?
All right.
These are...
Wish me luck, guys.
I think I got maybe 4 or 5 of them. So we're good. I think they're pretty easy.
Okay.
But I said that about the lyrics, and you fumbled, so...
All of them. Hey, I knew those songs, guys.
Yeah, whatever.
Heads up.
Whatever. Number 1.
Okay.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Can I give you a math question?
What iconic TV character has the following catchphrase? No contaban con mi astucia. God damn it. Dude. Oh my God, there's no way.
I would be guessing at the random ones that I know.
So you definitely don't know. Right? You don't know.
I do not know.
It's a Chapulín Colorado, bro.
That's it. Like I was, yeah. I'm sure. I wasn't gonna know that. I didn't. So you know what? To be fair, I'd never watched that.
It's iconic. Okay. I didn't watch Chapulín Colorado, but it's iconic.
But I could see it and like identify with it. But I wouldn't. I never watched a single episode. Maybe but like the 30 seconds that
I would argue it's iconic and you should know it anyways. But that's fine. It's okay.
I'm sorry, guys.
The next one is similar because it's Chespirito again, but this time it's Chavo del Ocho. Did you watch Chavo del Ocho? Well, you're about to fumble this one too.
Is that the one that's like dun 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 dun?
Yep. Mm-hmm. So there's 3 main characters, right? Like the 3 kids, right? Chavo, Kiko, and La Chilindrina. what are each of their signature, the way they cry? Because they have very specific ways that they cry. That's Kiko. Yeah. All right. So how do they cry?
I just remember that one because that's the one I was
That's
making
not his
fun of.
cry.
But he would be like, I don't want to sound like an idiot on camera.
Go ahead. Give me your best impersonation.
No.
Go. Dude, it's come on.
I just remember he would go into the corner and turn around and then just be like, I don't know what he was saying.
Okay, I'll give you that one.
All right, cool.
It wasn't, I wouldn't say it's more like a...
Okay.
But he would go into the corner and turn around. Yeah. What about Chavo and Chilindrina? I think that was the hardest one, Kiko, and you got that one.
That Chilindrina, I just remember being mad dramatic.
Yeah.
I just remember, but I can't like garner
The way she cried?
a recreation, yeah.
What about Chavo?
I don't remember Chavos at all.
Bro, oh my God, you suck.
What would he say? What would he
Chavo
do?
would go...
Oh, that's right.
And then Chilindrina would go...
Yeah, that's right. I remember.
God, dude, how did you not know that? Okay, all right.
But that one I watched a little bit more.
Okay, this one is a history one, and this one is a tradition, and I didn't want to bring it up for the sake of this question, but we can have an episode on this like later.
Okay.
So, what is the name of the historical figure who gave El Grito de Dolores? Also, what did the grito signify or call for? Like, what was the grito for?
Say that question one more time.
What is the name of the historical figure who gave El Grito de Dolores? Also, what did that grito signify / call for? You don't know what El Grito de Dolores is? This one is crazy. Oh my God, what the fuck?
I'm a fraud. Bro, this is really Rudy.
Oh, really, Rudy?
Bro. I have stage fright.
Oh my dude, El Grito de Dolores, first off, was Miguel Hidalgo, and it was on.
I was gonna say
it was Mexican Independence, like when he came out and said the Viva Mexico. You know how on Mexican Independence Day, that's El Grito de Dolores.
Oh, okay. I'm not gonna shame myself for not knowing. Like
what? All right.
I'm sorry, guys.
Next.
I'm so sorry.
All right.
There's more?
There's two more.
Oh my
They're fast.
God.
This one is a sport. These next two are sports questions, so we might lose like half our viewers. In 1999, what team did Mexico beat to win their one and only Confederations Cup?
Was it Brazil?
Correct. Ding, 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 ding. Sports is where
shout out to the
sports is where he shines.
You know what I'm
All
saying?
right. And I think you're going to get this one. And you should get this one for sure.
All right, I'll try.
What Mexican-born basketball player played with the Dallas Mavs from 2000 to 2004?
Oh, bro, shout out to Eduardo Nájera.
Hey.
That was my dog, bro. That was like my icon growing up. I was a Mexican playing basketball in the city of Dallas. There's no person
I knew you'd get that one.
that I
saved that one for the end.
really
To, like,
loved and respected.
I said that one to the end in case you fumbled all the other ones. You'd end on a high note.
Oh, here's a random. I'm throwing one back at you. Can you name another Mexican NBA player right now?
The guy that plays for the Warriors. I don't know his name.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
I forget his name.
His name's like Juan.
He's like
I can't pronounce.
He's mixed, no?
He's mixed, yeah. But I mean, he's some representation. Shout out to the guy.
Yeah.
Juan Toscano Anderson.
Yeah, I don't know his name, but I know he plays for the
it.
Warriors.
Yeah, shout out to the boy. No, I mean,
You did a little bit better this time, but Jesus Christ, Rudy.
I'm sorry.
All right.
But I knew that. I was just scared to answer incorrectly.
Yeah, whatever.
And then I sound like an idiot.
Yeah, whatever.
That's my excuse. Well, on that note, thank you guys so much again for listening this week. Again, if there's anything that we didn't share, I think today we went over kind of some of the bigger ones.
Plug the socials.
Maybe one of these days we'll jump into some of the smaller ones. Or even like one of the other bigger ones that deserve its own episode. But yeah,
too hard.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We're on the YouTube. We're on the Instagram. And my Instagram is rudy.dtx.
Coach Kev Ortiz.
And the Scattered Roots Pod for the page. And then we're on TikTok as well. So make sure you guys interact, respond. We've gotten some people like send us some suggestions and like some feedback on there. So we always really appreciate that. Any review that you want to leave on Apple Podcast, again, I would immensely appreciate it.
If you want me to ask Rudy more questions, send them to me.
Don't ask me more questions. That's one thing that I will not advocate for because this shit is getting ridiculous. But any final remarks?
Nah, man.
All right, thank you guys so much. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day and thank you again for listening.